Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I'm Star. The message I heard is it's really like your only choice. The scripture comes from Corinthians 7. Now for the matters you wrote about, a man is better off having no relations with a woman, but to avoid immorality. Every man should have his own wife, and every woman her own husband. The husband should fulfill his conjugal obligations towards his wife, and the wife hers towards her husband. Baby, I'm going to read this again because these men on these podcasts, they ignore this part. The husband should fulfill his conjugal obligations towards his wife. That part come first. And the wife hers towards her husband. A wife does not belong to herself but to her husband equally. Equally, a husband does not belong to himself but to his wife. I'm going to read that again because the second part of that scripture be getting left out. A wife does not belong to herself but to her husband. Equally, a husband does not belong to himself but to his wife. Do not deprive one another. Do not deprive one another. Do not deprive one another. It is not a one-way street. Unless perhaps by mutual consent for a time to devote yourselves to prayer. Then return to one another, that Satan may not tempt you through your lack of self-control. I say this by way of concession, not as a command. Given my preference, I should like you to be as I am. Still, each one has his own gift from God, one this, and another that. So here's the message. Here's the message. God is saying for someone, you are feeling as though, I just feel like this is somebody you feel boxed in and you feel like you have no option but to be one way or another, regardless if you are feeling like you have no option but to be single or you have no option but to be married or whatever it is. I feel like, you have no option but to be single. You feel like you have no choice. And the reason you feel like you have no choice is because of the things that I'm pointing out. There are so many people today, and I'm not just trying to get on men, but there are so many men today that ignore so many parts of this scripture. This one specifically, they ignore the fact that the husband, is also belonging to his wife. There are so many men that think they take the head of household and they run with it. And they ignore the fact that they also belong to their wife. They do not have a right to go out and do whatever they want to do. If your wife tell you no, you're not finna go and sleep with that person. It's a no and it's a hard no. And it's not a situation where you can go ahead and say, well, I thought no. God, like this is like no. And that's the end of it. It's not a situation. And so many men that do this, they don't even realize it. And sometimes they do realize it, that they are leaving their wife unattended to go and be with somebody else. So what about her and her needs? And what about her and her wants? And I know some people going to be like, Star, we getting in I'm just being real. Let's be honest. Okay, we already know that it does exist and it is existing for procreation. It exists only to be happening between a husband and a wife. And if a husband is stepping out on his wife and constantly slinging all across the place, who is his wife going to have to hold her at night? And who is his wife? His wife is left lonely. She's left by herself and she's left wondering why in the world did she get married in the first place? What's going on? Why is it that she is married, but she is lonely? And I have heard so many conversations being had about women who are speaking out saying that although they are married, they feel worse than they did when they were single. They are married, but they see their husband less than they did when they were dating. They are married, but their husband is never home. They are married, but them and their husband barely even lay with each other. They are married, but they living in two separate houses. They married, but they sleep in two separate beds. What's going on? Why are there so many women that are feeling as though they have no choice and they might as well just be single? What's the point? What is the point in a woman giving her life to a man that don't even want to give his life to his wife? He don't want to hear what she trying to say. He want to go around and tell the thought up the street that his wife ain't taking care of this, that, and the third, and he need her. And he want to go and he want to chase after that one. And he want to give all the money, the rent money and the light money and the water money. He want to give all the bill money to this woman over here. And he paying for her household. And he feeding her kids while his kids hungry. And his wife is looking at her watch wondering where he at. God said, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. That is why a lot of women sitting here going down to 7, giving my preference. I should like you to be as I am. Still, each one has his own gift from God. One this and another that. What is the point of a woman giving her life to a man, submitting herself to a man that don't even act right? Talking about he running stuff and then he the king and he running this and he running that, but he ain't never home. How are you in charge, sir? What king is always gone from his castle, sir? How are you controlling anything, sir? How are you there to actually be the judge and actually have control over your castle if you ain't there? Let's be real. Like, there's too many men that are being lustful and chasing after women in the street, and they turn around and forget that their wife is attractive. And then when a wife filed for divorce and she get herself together and she got a new man, now he looking mad, he upset, he frustrated, he don't know what to do. You should have been faithful to your wife then. You forgot you had a prize. God gave you a gift. You had your own gift. You had your own everything. And instead of being faithful to your wife and to God, because you're not just committed to your wife, you're committed to God as well. Instead of being committed to your marriage, to the blessing that God gave you, you decided to gamble it, throw it up in the air, and go and run after somebody that ain't even worried about you like that. Somebody that don't even care about you like that. Somebody that don't really know you like that. Somebody that ain't even concerned about you like that. And you allowed your wife to get away. You made your choice. And now she don't have no choice. You know what I'm saying? Even when it says here, the only time that you are supposed to be separated by mutual consent is to devote yourselves to prayer. And then you are to come back together so Satan cannot tempt you. What a pity and what a shame would it be for a woman to not even be able to devote an hour of her time, 2 hours of her time to God without worrying that her husband is going to be going off to cheat on her. Or likewise for a man. What a pity and what a shame would that be? You can't even go to work and be faithful at work. You can't even go, baby, don't nobody got time for that. Don't nobody got time for that. And I just feel like this, I don't know if this is for a man or a woman. If it's for a man, you wondering why you can't find a wife, and you wondering why so many women don't want to commit, and you wondering why so many women don't want to get married, and they celibate, and they want to be by themselves, because we are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Not only are we sick and tired on the girl on girl crime of there being so many women that are happily sleeping with married men, but we are also sick and tired of so many men claiming that they want to get married, claiming that they want to have a wife, claiming that they want to have a family, but not acting that way. What they are showing is they want to be single. They don't want a wife, because if they wanted a wife, they will be faithful. If they wanted a family, they would be at home. Because how can you possibly expect to procreate if you're not even laying down with the person you're supposed to be laying down with? You making babies with people that you're not even married to. You having kids out of marriage, out of wedlock. But that's what you wanted to do. And you know what I'm saying? You can do what you want to do, but you can't get upset when you are, you know what I'm saying, when it's time for you to feel like you need to settle down, or when it's time for somebody to come with you to the hospital, or it's time for somebody to have your back for this, that, and the third, and you don't have nobody because you were chasing after the thoughts instead of being with your wife then left, and now you sitting alone and you're trying to figure out who is going to fix you some soup while you sick. I don't know. You better figure it out. You better hope you and pray that you can find a thought that not only can cook, but will cook. Because 9 out of 10, she got things to do. She have other people to go and see. Let's be real. And that's just, That's the truth about it. And you can't sit around and now you want to cry. You want to cry a river. I'm hearing the song, Cry Me a River. You want to cry because the wife is gone and you don't have nobody to take care of you and you lonely. You want to, why she not here waiting on you, and why should she be? Why, like, who in their right mind would just sit around waiting for their cheating, lying husband to come back home whenever he feel like it? Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. So there are a lot of people that are left with no choice. And the choice that they are choosing is to be by themselves. And that's the message. And that's the message. Like, there are a lot of women that are left with no choice. And the choice that they are choosing is to be by themselves. To be by themselves. To be by themselves. The men, they keep on complaining. Talking about they want this, that, and the third. And what they are showing, even after going out of their way to pay hundreds of dollars for passports and fly hundreds of dollars for tickets, and they flying here, there, and everywhere. What they really wanted was to sleep with somebody easy. And they are proving the exact reason why they are having no luck finding a wife in the U.S. They're not finding a wife in the U.S. because they're not looking for a wife. They're looking for somebody that's easy. And they get mad when they can't get it. They get mad that they not getting it easy. They get mad that they can't just take somebody out to dinner and for drinks and then slide into their bed. Like, Lord have mercy. This right here is why trafficking is out of rampant, and why so many women have to be careful everywhere they go, because these men are just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. They really think that they should just be able to go between anybody's legs and get what they want whenever they want it. And baby, God says, okay, he got something for them, because they gonna look up and they gonna look around and they gonna find that the thoughts do not care. Okay, they not finna be concerning themselves with cooking him no soup. They're not finna concern themselves with ensuring that he go to the doctor. They are not finna worry themselves about how this is happening for him and how that's working out. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. And why would they? And that's the message. That's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Deuces.